And welcome back to Lair. I'm SULK and here to bring you your next build video. This next build is going to be courtesy of the DIY Club, and this is a REOBRIX Mechanical Kit. This is in its Mechanical Engineering Series, kit number 22006, with 1322 pieces, rated for 14 plus. This difficulty level is 5 out of 7 stars, so not really too sure what to expect. You can see on the box that it is mostly a Technic piece, with a lot of Technic pieces on there. And yeah, it's not gonna lie, it's been a while since I built an actual Technic build, so I'm not too sure how it's gonna go. But based on the artwork on the front, you can see it's either remote controlled or by your phone through, looks like Bluetooth and an app. But we did not pick up any of the extra bits, like any of the motors or anything, to do the whole Bluetooth remote connection, so it'll just be a straight build. But can't wait to get started, and let's get into it. So first things first, getting into the box, we got REOBRIX Mechanical and authorized model designed in the Czech Republic. So that's pretty fancy. You can see it is a crane, a little remote control activation here, and you can see the tracks. Going to the side of the box, you can see all the extra accessories that you should need to pick up in order for it to make a remote control operated. On the side of it here, you can see its dimensions. It is 50.7 centimeters across, and width is 16.5 centimeters, and has 53.3 centimeter height. Back of the box here, see a little more in-depth pictures of it. Looks like all the different activation points, so you can take a look at the suspension of it, how it can rotate 360 degrees, and how the crane can actually move up and down. I guess almost likely due to the remote system. But again, don't have that. Just give it a straight build. So let's crack her open. Alright, so first things first, I am mistaken. It does come with the motors, remote control. Yeah, it comes with everything it needs, so I am surprised by that one. I sit completely corrected. It tells you to test the motors first. I'm not too sure it requires batteries or not, but again, I'm pretty sure it does. Batteries most likely not included, but I could be wrong. Jumps right in to tell you to build the internal frame, or the internal structures first. Has about 94 pages of instructions, and the last few pages are pretty much how to operate the remote control. But yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see how this goes now, because I was not expecting it to come with everything that was listed. My mistake. Alright, so let's get started. So here is the finished crane piece. So we're going to go move up from the actual main body, up the jib, and you can see all the Technic beam pieces to use to recreate all the support beams and everything like that on the actual jib of the crib, of the crane I mean. Here you can see a lot of Technic pieces to recreate a hook system. These little good reuse of parts to make a little anchor. And it uses about a 2 meter long string that runs all the way down the jib into a gearing mechanism at the bottom. But before we get into that, you can see you use a lot of counterweights and connecting rods to act as a counterweight system to keep the crane balanced. I'm going to take a nice little close-up of the gearing mechanism where the string goes to allow the hook to go up and down. Moving beside it, we have the operator's cabin. And you see the two little kind of switches here to mimic the operator's operation of the crane. I didn't do a good job tucking the wires in because it was really hard to actually, once you have these panels on, to actually tuck the wires into the back. But these wires go to this little LED that sits on top of the crane to simulate the lights. Moving to the side of it, nice little sticker pieces to show off how, again, the one thing I want to state is that it looks ridiculously clean. So there's nothing really that really sticks out. So all the Technic pieces do such a great job of just embodying the aspects of a crane. We go into the back, so I just gotta lift her up. So we have the back of the crane here. This is actually where it hides all the motors and all the gear, like the battery pack that hides behind this little panel here. Next to say is it's danger to keep out because you really don't want to be messing around with what's inside here. Here's a good look at the actual string system that allows the crane to go up and down. So the problem is the string actually goes deep into this little area here, into this recess, and it's kind of hard to actually tighten her up to give it, like, again, there's so much slack in this right now, but there's really not much I could do at this given moment to tighten up the actual string to make it actually have to sit properly. So we have the opposite side. And nice little close-up of all the gearing mechanisms here. Moving on to the tracks. You can see the track has to be built piece by piece with each little segment here. And it fits really nicely on its own little gearing mechanism inside here like a tank. So that about completes the close-ups of it. And let's move on to the rest of the review. And we're back. This thing took about 4 hours, give or take a couple minutes here and there, to finally complete. And I can say this so far has been the biggest kit I've built. And again, look at the size of it. Again, it's huge. But again, I loved almost all of the building process of it for the most part, minus a few gripes here and there. But I had an amazingly fun time just getting this thing completed. Aesthetically, it looks amazing because if you look at, let's say, real cranes in real life, the jib here matches the full aesthetic. These Technic pieces, like these beams, just complete the aesthetic of a real life crane. And like all the panels, the stickers, everything like that, it just does such a good job of capturing the aesthetic. Like I built a few Technic pieces in the past, like not on camera, but like some of the vehicles, it does a good job, but I wouldn't say a necessarily great job of fully capturing the vehicle it's trying to recreate. But looking at this, again, Lego, take a few notes, I guess. So let's just move on to the good about this build. Again, needless to say, this has been a while since I built my last Technic piece, so I had a few-ish hiccups here and there trying to get everything put in line. Like just to say this back piece here, right? Because all these little pegs that stick out, in order to get the back of it trying to fully mesh into place, everything has to be lined up perfectly, or you're gonna have, again, you're gonna be pulling out your hair trying to get this thing fully in place. I had a lot of fun actually, because again, I love tanks, and I had a lot of fun building these little track systems that go on the bottom here. Last time I actually built kind of a track system would have been for Crash City, our town hall. And those are little tiny little track pieces that had to be put together. Good thing with again, they're big, so my clumsy hands, putting it together, no problem. Again, it's just the main thing. Again, the best part of the thing is I just love the aesthetic. Okay, moving on to the bad. I may as well get this out of the way first. Again, elephant in the room. The motors didn't work, and I tried. Like, you don't really see it in the video as much, but for the first 20 to 30 minutes of trying to, the first instructions, steps on the instructions was testing the motors. And again, half an hour in, changing batteries, just making sure connection, continuity, all this sort of thing. It's just, none of it worked. I don't know if it's, again, the motors do come with the packaging, so that's good, so a good thing. But when you have a case like where none of it works, I don't know if it's from manufacturer, shipping, or who knows. It's just that I couldn't figure it out. And hopefully yours works. Well, you wouldn't be running into these issues. So moving on from that is that when you are putting it together, you kind of have to put the motors inside because everything kind of just tucks into the back here, as I said in the close-ups. But since everything is connected, so with the Technic gears in place, it kind of becomes a restriction to the actual final product. Because if you look at it here, this is supposed to move full 360. But since there are gears in place which are attached to said motors, it prevents it from being able to turn. So it's kind of stuck like this. At the same time, when it comes to the string systems to keep the crane leveled, is that I can't wind these strings back to keep everything taut. So right now it is a pure aesthetic piece, so you can't really play with it. Going on to the strings as well, is that I don't have the most dexterous fingers. So again, if you are better at that than me, good on you. But it only comes to these little tiny little knobs here that you're supposed to attach, wrap the strings around to and tie a knot. But since I don't have the dexterity to do that, I kind of just have to tie them up to a random beam piece to keep everything in check. Because if these aren't taut, or even if these are slightly too loose, this will just go and drop the entire jib, and then everything just goes, everything just goes to knot at that point. It's the same with the actual hook here, is you can't really see in the close-ups, is that I kind of have to tie it up to a random beam piece to keep everything from falling apart. But all in all, if you keep it as an aesthetic piece, it's perfectly fine. But if you actually want to play around with it, yeah, good luck to that one. But all in all, had fun building. That's the main part, the most important part. And I love the look of it. So to me, it kind of just checks off the two columns I want. Playing with it, not really something I do. To me, it's just a showpiece. I'll just go on the shelf right afterwards, much like anything else. But yeah. So that just wraps up my review, build and review of this piece here. Once again, I would like to thank the DIY Club for providing this kit with us for me to build. And again, just all the help they provided so far. If you like this kind of content, don't forget that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification for updates. And please leave a comment in the video, because again, it goes to show that people care and allows us to make more of these videos. Also, you check out our website at conquestlair.com, and you can see a lot of kits that we do have in our previous builds should be up there. And again, if you want some of our merch, or again, you want to make your own branded merchandise, just shoot us a message, because we do a lot of custom orders, and any little bit helps with the channel and helps with everything that we do. Also, please follow us on all the social medias, because we have our Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram all up and running. And just leave a comment there. Anything a little bit helps. Until next time, I'm SULK, and have fun building, y'all. Laters.